In our mind, we use the word Giano, which is a god of a new beginning in your life. So the point is we build this place, split in two.
The idea was bringing to the table an Italian cuisine that respects the tradition, but also look at the future with some innovation. You see, our process is different. We create all these flavors, these layers of flavors before putting the sauce on top. And that's what makes the difference. That's why it's the best matriciana ever.
When you think Italian, you might think white tablecloths, you might think expensive, you might think extravagant, but it doesn't always need to be that. And here at Giano on 7th Street in the East Village, they're pumping out fresh pasta every day that I think is the best in New York City. Let's go check it out. Hey!
Ciao, Zack, how are you?
Good.
My name is Paolo. I'm from Italy and from a small town called Fagnano. It's pretty close to Milano, like a 15-20 minutes. When you're using fresh pasta, the fresh pasta is like a sponge, so it's absorbing the flavor of the sauce. It's much bigger level than the dry pasta. Every single bite is an explosion of flavor if the pasta itself is absorbing the sauce from when you toss it. We try to make the customer happy, and there is a lot of different restaurants in New York City, and there is a lot of dishes, Italian dishes in New York City, better than Giano or different than Giano. Better is about a personal taste, okay? But the point is try to make something different, something that we like better.
Pasta for us, for Italian people, it's like a joy. It's the main meal. It's where, you know, you really want to stuff yourself and get up from the table feeling that sensation of satisfaction.
When I start a restaurant, you have to find a partner, and then I found Matteo.
You guys very hungry? I'm from Monza. It's a little town close to Milano. I landed here about 24 years ago. Came here for a quick vacation, fall in love with New York, decide to stay, get married, open up a restaurant, and I have 2 kids. It's gonna smell so good in here, guys. I met Paolo through a friend. I liked Paolo right away, super funny guy, and we had both of us this idea of open up an Italian restaurant, and when we found this location, we both fell in love with it, and we said, you know what, this is the right time.
In our mind, we use the word Giano, which is a god of a new beginning in your life, like Janus for January.
So the idea of Giano is basically, yes, goes around the 2 faces of this divinity from the Roman Empire, represented with 2 faces. One was facing the future, the other face was facing the past.
So the point is we build this place, split in two, and modern design in the beginning and cozy and rustic in the back.
The idea was like bringing to the table an Italian cuisine that respects the tradition, but also look at the future with some innovation. The reason of our successful pasta business is the way we make pasta. We make pasta, I call it old style pasta, which is flour durum, water and a pinch of sea salt. The reason why I call it the old style pasta is because in the old days, in Italy, they didn't put any eggs in the pasta because it was too valuable just to throw in a pasta. But we decided to do that for 2 reasons. One is for the taste. You have this pasta that has a very rough surface. What happens when you have a pasta like that is when you toast it and you finish cook it, grabs even more sauce and absorb even more sauce, so you have more flavor. And the other way is also because it's vegan, so we can make our vegan friend happy without worrying about having fresh pasta with eggs. Okay, so let's start with the onion. I don't like the onion to be too small because I want to fill it. So I'm gonna do a nice chunk like that. Our rigatoni matriciana, they don't really follow the real recipe, so I'm sorry about that. I already apologized to all the Romans friends. But what we do here is a matriciana that use pancetta instead of guanciale, so has a little more meat attached to the only fat of the guanciale. As you can see, pancetta has more meat. Guanciale is all white. I like that bite to the meat. So this is gonna dissolve mostly. It's gonna sear, so it's gonna be a little crunchy, but you're still gonna have that sensation of biting a piece of meat instead of just fat. And that's what I like. It is risky because you could have people pointing at you, say, oh, you're not the real stuff, you're not Italian, It's a traditional recipe, how can you change it? The point is that everything is in evolution. So the other important thing is try to cut every piece the same size so they cook the same way. The cubes that I'm gonna make are not gonna be very small because you have to consider that it's gonna cook for basically more than an hour. Also, experimentation, it's part of our job, and every chef should do that. So now I wanna sear it a little bit before, so it's not gonna be boiled when we cook the whole sauce. So I need a nice crust, and in a second we're gonna throw the onion, and all the juice, the fat, and the onion, they're gonna start caramelize. You have to change sometimes and twist a little here and there to see if something can come up even better from the old days. So now you can see that all the fat is melting out and it's cooking with the onion. The onion is absorbing all the flavor of the fat of the pancetta, and it's gonna enrich our sauce. At the end of the process, but when you make it with guanciale, you basically just sear it for a couple of minutes and put the sauce right away. You see, our process is different. We create all these flavors, these layers of flavors before putting the sauce on top. And that's what makes the difference. That's why it's the best matriciana ever. So now we are ready, as you can see, to deglaze the pan. Everything is stick a little bit, everything is burned on the pan, and that's what we like it. So now you see that all that burning stuff that was attached to the pan is going inside the sauce, and that's what makes the magic. I don't like to put too much sauce. I like to put the light level when I can see all the ingredients. So what I'm gonna do now is the last touch, which is just a little bit of spiciness, not too much, but just a little touch. You hear that?
Yeah.
They call it in Italy the sign of love. And I think we did a very good job with our matriciana. Okay, guys, this is the moment you were waiting for.
Oh, yes.
Steaming hot.
Thank you very much.
Matriciana. Actually, Janus matriciana.
Beautiful. And I haven't had this in a while, but I've been coming here almost 10 years. And each time it slaps.
Want to sprinkle of
A little bit, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing this again. Oh my God. Every time. 10 out of 10 every time. I'm telling you.
Perfect.
It's the pasta is always what hits me first. And the flavor, obviously, as we discussed. I don't know, it's the second thing that hits me is the pancetta versus the guanciale.
Right.
So like you were saying, there's bite to it, not just...
Yes.
It doesn't all just float away.
And I love the acidity as well. At the end, you feel that there's wine, a little vinegar. It's there.
Yeah. I don't know. It all just comes together so nicely. And it's very simple. It's hard to distinguish what exactly is going on, but then it all kind of works together.
Like magic.
I think so.
It is, it is.
There's a piece that I enjoy, being half Mexican, and that is the chili pepper, the red chili pepper that you throw in there, which is also not necessarily
It's not.
normal.
Right. It's not usual for the recipe, but yeah, we did a little.
But it's nice.
It activates it a little bit.
It's
Throws a little
not
heat on
too
it.
spicy.
No, just the
It's
right
just
amount.
there.
The other thing too, obviously, as we were seeing earlier today, this isn't the only fresh pasta you make. There's a bunch of different pastas.
Oh yeah.
I've been here over 10 years. I've brought a few people here. We don't need to dig into how many people.
We have video. We have video.
We don't have video. Do you have video here? No. Each time they're ordering something different, so I might steal a bite, and everything's phenomenal. Everything's fresh, but that's basically, you guys just crank them through in the morning.
80% of our menu, it's pasta. That's what we are basically known for. And yeah, we have different shape, different sauce, you know. It's really like one of best sellers is, you know, the items is the pasta.
The other thing too, in terms of this pasta on the menu, is basically $20.
You know, around that, yes.
Yeah, which I mean, for a pasta at a nice Italian restaurant, is this quality, $20 is
Homemade fresh pasta.
homemade fresh pasta.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a difference.
I don't know for a long, but now we try to keep our prices, you know, down because we also are in the East Village, so we don't want to go crazy with prices, and that's also is being our philosophy since days first, being, you know, affordable and great quality. So it's hard to beat that.
We were talking a little bit before. There's like people who love Cipriani. There's people who love to go to places like that. And this, I mean, it's just really the food and you guys.
Different restaurant, of course, different anche style. But you know, we're trying to make, as I say, happy when the people eating pasta there. And it's more about the food.
Have you ever had anyone eat this, their first bites, and they're like, hey, this isn't the way that I've had it before?
It happened before.
Yeah?
Especially we had also some American client that they realized that wasn't the traditional recipe, and of course Italians. And yeah, we explain, you know, our philosophy of, you know, twisting some recipe here and there and try to make them better. And as I said also, I like to eat the food that I like and to propose that to my customer. So have a different experience sometimes also on such a traditional recipe that everybody knows. Plus, you can find any matriciana all over New York. They're more or less gonna be the same. So if you wanna try something new and outstandingly good, you should come here.
I think that's actually the hardest thing to do. Like, you can make this at home if you really wanted to, but the flavor clinging to the noodle, like
Yeah.
the rigatoni, like the way that it holds the flavor, I think is what makes it.
As I say, the fresh pasta is absorbing the sauce, so it's amplify the bite and the flavor of the bite.
Yeah, it really is a
It
sponge.
is.
Yeah, that's exactly
It's a key. I
what
mean,
it
if you use
is.
a dry rigatoni, would be taste good but not give you the same feeling.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's, I think, the difference maker right there. Well, I like that when we were trying to figure out, I was like, look, this is the best thing here, I think. This is the one, we got to do this. But you're like, no, it's too simple. But I almost feel like that's kind of like the beauty of the dish, is that like it's really hard to do something that only has a few ingredients.
Right.
Yeah.
But to do it so well
Yes.
is very hard.
It is.
Kind of like, I don't know what the Olympic sport metaphor would be for like discus. It's like you just got to
Bocce.
botch it, but you got to do it like right. And that's what this is to me.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Well, Matteo, Paolo, I gotta say, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The best rigatoni amatriciana, the best pasta, frankly, that I've had in New York. Been coming here for 10 years. Thank you so much for letting us come out and shoot. This is phenomenal as always. Compliments to you both. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll drink to the very best pasta in New York.
Cheers.
Salute. Every time I come here, it's a great time at Giano, and I can't say whether or not it's more because of the dish by itself or if it's because of the vibes that you get in coming here and knowing that the authenticity might not come from following exactly the ingredients you're supposed to follow. But certainly, when you're dining here, you can almost feel the Italian flavor. And I will say, even though it might not be exactly to the recipe itself, the rigatoni amatriciana here, when you put all the pieces together, certainly is the best pasta in New York.